Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video will be on this Urhobo top for traditional attire. And you know that one thing I don't do on this channel is keeping any information on my tutorial, so do well to watch to the end. So the first thing I did is to mark a starting point, and then from there I marked the length of this top, and this top is for a 2-year-old. So the length is 17 inches. In fact, check the description box for all the measurements I used in this on this tutorial. So from that starting point, I went down for my armhole depth, and this armhole depth I had to add ½ inch to it so that it's not fitted on the armhole. Then once I am done with that, I marked my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and just like I mentioned, please check the description box for all the measurements I used for this style. And then for my neckline, because this is a kind of a senator wear, you have to keep the neckline as small as possible. So for the width of the neckline, I marked at 2 inches, and then for the depth is also 2 inches. And this neckline, just like I mentioned, you have to keep it as small as possible, and before you even pipe it, you try and wear it on your child and make sure it's okay for him. Then, and this pattern is for the front, we are going to be cutting the back once we are done. So for my shoulder slope, I went down by 0.5 inches, and then I connect the line to my neckline. Then my bust measurement, I'm going to be measuring my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll make a point there, and because of this style is not a fitted one, when you see anywhere you see it is not fitted, so I'm going to be adding 1 inch for ease, and the stitching allowance will be added when we want to transfer it to our fabric. So I'll go ahead and connect my armhole. Once I am done with this, we're going to go ahead and mark at our hem area. So this hem area is going to be your hip measurement divided by 4, and not your waist measurement. So I'll mark a point there, and then add 1 inch for ease as well. I'll connect the point coming from the bust to that hip. Okay guys, once I am done with that, at our shoulder area, because this is more like a shirt kind of, or let me say senator kind of, so from the shoulder line I am coming down by 1 inch, and I'll follow that slanted area, and I'll go down by 1 inch. I just hope you understand it. I'll connect this line. So we're going to be cutting this off, and then transfer this 1 inch to our back bodies. If you haven't subscribed up to this moment, please take 1 minute to hit on the subscribe button, join the family. And to my old subscribers, you guys know I appreciate and I love you all. Thank you for all your support. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share my videos, and also watch my ads. So that 1 inch we took out from the front pattern, I'm putting it back to the back one. So from the shoulder line, I went up by 1 inch for the shoulder area that we cut out. And then I went down by 1 inch for the neckline, which I am going to recut afterwards. So keep watching the video, you don't want to miss any information on this style. So once I am done connecting this, every other side is the same. I'll go ahead and cut it out except for the armhole. If you haven't seen a video of my basic bodice, please check it out in the description box so that you understand what I meant by except for the armhole. The front armhole and the back one is not the same. So I'll fold in that 1 inch that we added to the back. So this is the back bodice. I'll fold it in, and then what I am going to do is to mark so that I'll know where the neck width started. So once I fold it in, I'll go ahead and then recut my back neckline. So I'm just going down by 1 inch. The reason for folding this in, so that you will know where your actual measurement started, so that you'll be able to cut out your back neckline. So once I am done with that, I also fold in my fabric, and then remember your stitching allowance. You don't want to cut out the exact place on the pattern, so I'll be adding ½ inch stitching allowance to this before I will cut it out. Then while transferring this to my pattern paper, you can see I added 1/2 inch on my armhole area and to add my sleeve, and every other side have about 2 inches. So this is what we have after we are done. So for the front pattern, for the front piece, I went down by 6 inches so that we can be able to create our placket. And the way I create my own placket, it might not be the way you do yours, but this is the simplest way of doing mine. I don't like stress, so this is where I marked the 6 inches down. And then I'll cut it open. I'll go ahead and open my my pattern. I'll be marking 1/2 inch, like a slanted 1/2 inch on both sides. By the time I cut it out, you'll see what I meant. I am sorry that my fabric and my table is the same color, so you guys will find it difficult to see, but when you pay attention, you will understand what I am doing. So I'll slant it open by 1/2 inch. You can see what we have once we slant it open. So I went ahead to cut out this fabric. For the width of it, I have 1.5 inches, and I folded in. I have 2 inches. Then I folded into 1/2 inch. Sorry, so I was left with 1.5 inches on fold. So I'll open it up and then put my fabric, the placket area that we cut open, and I'll go ahead and start stitching it down. Once I get to that place we slanted by 1/2 inch, you see the way I opened it, that's the same way you're going to open it, and then you're going to place it into the piece and then stitch it down. I just hope you understand what I'm trying to say, but if you don't, just look at the video, you understand it. So this is it after I was done. I'm just bringing in another colorful something to put under it so that you can see it well. So I'll go ahead and then place it this way to give it that V shape at that area, and then I'll stitch it down the way you see me show you guys. Please go ahead and stitch yours down. So this is what we have after I was done stitching it down. Our top is coming together, our Urhobo attire is coming together. So I'll bring in my back bodice, and then I'll be doing front facing front. I'll go ahead and stitch on my shoulder area, these 2 shoulder areas. So this is it once I am done. When you look at the pattern at this point, one is longer than one, but when you pull it down to arrange it at the hem area, you will see that effect, that what we are trying to create, that the shoulder back is coming towards the front one. That is exactly how it's supposed to be. So let's go ahead and cut out our sleeve. And for the length of my sleeve, for the length of this sleeve, we are going to be taking out about 2 inches from the total length, because we're going to be adding band to it. So for the length of after taking out 2 inches, I have 8 inches. I have 8.5 inches, sorry. So the 1/2 inch is for stitching allowance. Then for the sleeve cap, for the round sleeve, my round sleeve is 4 inches. Then for the sleeve cap, I went down by 2 inches. Then I'm going to go ahead and also insert the lower area, my round sleeve at the lower area. Then I'm using my free hand this time to connect this. Just make, like I always say, do as if you want to write a long S, and you'll get your sleeve pattern. So that's it. I'll go ahead and cut this out. If you want a detailed tutorial on this sleeve, please check my description box, the link is there. So I added stitching allowance to it, and then for the seam side, remember we are supposed to add 1 inch for it, so I didn't add it, so that's what I added. Then plus 2 inches stitching allowance, that's why it looks so big there. So this is our sleeve. Once I am done cutting out the 2 sleeves, I'm going to go ahead and open up my bodice, and we're going to be doing front facing front. I'll go ahead and stitch this all the way around, and I'll do the same thing for the other sleeve. So guys, this is it. And also I decided to spread a colorful pattern on fabric on the table so that it's blocking that white table. so you can see what we are doing well. So this is what we have after we are done. I'm going to go ahead and station my seam side. So while stitching this at that sleeve, you're going to leave about ½ inch before you start your stitching. So let's go ahead and make our neckline, or let's work on the neckline. So I measured my neckline, and whatever I have there, I'm going to be dividing it into two. So I mark a straight line so that I will be able to cut out the pattern, and then I'll mark a starting point for this neckline. Then from that starting point, remember I said we are going to be dividing it. My neckline is 13 inches. So once I divide it into two, I have 6.5 inches. I'll make a mark there. And that 6.5 inches, I'll also go ahead, from the starting point, sorry, I'll go up by ½ inch. And then that 6.5 inches, I'll divide it into two and make a point. So I'll connect that ½ inch to that half division that we did with our curve. So once I am done with this, I want this more like a halter neck pattern. I want it to be about 0.5 inches to 0.75 inches. You don't want it too wide, because this is more like a senator kind of neckline. So I'm going to go ahead and mark about 0.75 inches. Once I get to that slanted area, I'll also move up, and then I'll connect these. Then at this side, I'm going to go in by ½ inch, and then I'll connect it into the neckline or neck width. And that's it, the simplest way. I cut it out, then I transferred it to my fabric. And remember to add stitching allowance all around your the pattern. So this is what we have, and we are going to be having. So if you have your gum stay at this moment, please do well to apply your gum stay. So I'll go ahead and arrange this well. It seems like it's 2 points there, so I'm going to go ahead and trim it off a bit. Once I am done with this, we're going to do front facing front, and I'll stitch it from one end to the other, just like you see me show you guys. So this is it after I was done with the bodice, and this is the neckline after I was done. So I'll turn it to the right side, pushing every other part. If you have light at this moment, please do it to iron it, and you can as well iron the opening side ½ inch inward on both sides, so that it's easier for you to attach. But for me, since I don't have light, and we are going to do it the normal way, so I'll bring in my bodice, and I'm going to be stitching from the back to the front. So I'll place it this way, the beginning of the neckline and the beginning of the bodice. I'll stitch it all the way from one end to the other. So this is it after I was done. I'll go ahead and make notches around the neckline to ease it up. Then I'll turn it to the right side. Once I turn it to the right side, I'll go ahead and push it in by ½ inch that we added, and then I'll stitch it down from one end to the other as well. Then for the sleeve band, I cut out the length of my sleeve plus about 1 inch stitching allowance, and then the length of it I have about 2.5 inches. Then I'll do it front facing front, and then I'll stitch on both sides of it. I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is our neckline after I was done. You can go ahead and then press it to keep it flat and nice. So this is the band, the sleeve band. I was done stitching it down, I'm just turning it to the right side. Once I am done with this, I'll do the same thing for the other sleeve. Then I'll go ahead and bring in our main sleeve. So remember that I said you should leave about ½ inch away from the sleeve. So this is it. So to attach this, I'm going to go ahead, because the sleeve is bigger than the band. I'll go ahead and fold this together so that I'll get the center of this band and also the center of the sleeve. So once I am done with this, I'll bring in the band, and we are going to be doing front facing front. I'll place the two notches together and then pin it down. Then I'll go ahead and pin the end of it. Remember that the end of it will be about ½ inch longer than the where you have your seam line. So you should pass your seam line by about ½ inch, and while stitching it, all you have to do is to plait the excess into the band. So this is it after I was done. So by the time that excess, I'm going to now go ahead and add my button or whatever you're pressing, button or normal button to it, and then hem it. And that's all for this style. I hope you find value on this. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you do. Share my videos to family and friends, and watch my ads, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.